All right, let's get into it. Imagine a coastline where these ancient gnarled vines meet the brilliant blue sea, all under a warm Italian sun. Well, that's the magic we're uncorking today. We're taking a deep dive into Puglia, the sun-drenched heel of Italy's famous boot. You know, this quote really hits the nail on the head. For decades, Puglia was kind of like the engine room of Italian wine. It produced these huge quantities that were often shipped north to beef up other, more famous wines. It was a sleeping giant, really. And now? Well, that giant is wide awake and ready to show the world the treasures it's been hiding. So, where does this whole story begin? It starts right here on Puglia's stunning wine coast. Because to really get the soul of these wines, you first have to understand the powerful trio that shapes them: the sun, the sea, and the wind. It's that simple and that complex. Just picture it: a long, thin strip of land with 800 kilometers of coastline. That's wild. It's literally surrounded by two different seas, the Adriatic and the Ionian. And this isn't just a pretty backdrop for your vacation photos. That constant coastal influence is a massive deal for the kind of wine they can make here. And here's how all those elements cook up the perfect recipe for amazing wine. You've got abundant, glorious sun, which gives the grapes these ripe, juicy flavors. But you don't want them to get lazy or flabby, right? So these cooling sea breezes swoop in, acting like nature's own air conditioning system. They lock in all that freshness and a really lively acidity. And then underneath it all, you have these super diverse soils: limestone, clay, sand, which add this distinct, savory complexity. It's what we wine lovers call minerality.
All right, let's jump into the history, because Puglia's journey is this fantastic story of transformation. We're talking about a complete shift from being the powerhouse of quantity to a true champion of quality.
I mean, winemaking here is ancient. It goes all the way back to the Greeks. And for centuries, this place was known as Italy's cantina, its cellar, just pumping out enormous volumes of wine. But the real game changer, that came in the 1990s. A whole new generation of winemakers decided to flip the script. They shifted the focus from how much they could make to how good they could make it. And that sparked a revolution that has completely redefined Puglionian wine. I mean, look at this comparison. It says it all, right? It's night and day. The focus pivoted from these giant industrial tanks and barrels to the sun-drenched vineyards themselves. It was a conscious move away from being a bulk producer and towards celebrating the unique land, the terroir, and most importantly, the incredible native grapes. Which, of course, brings us to the real stars of the show. You just can't talk about modern Puglia without talking about the indigenous grapes that make its wines so unique and, frankly, so delicious. These are the local heroes, the real MVPs of the region. Now, you're going to hear this fancy word autochthonous a lot when people talk about Italian wine, and it's a really key idea. All it means is that these grapes are native. They belong here. They've literally spent thousands of years adapting perfectly to Puglia's unique blend of sun, sea, and soil. They're tailor-made for this place. Okay, so here are the three red headliners. Primitivo is probably the most famous. It's just lush and powerful, bursting with flavors of dark plum and blackberry, maybe a little spice. Then you have Negro Amaro, the workhorse of the Salento Peninsula. It's a bit more rustic and savory, with cherry and these cool herbal notes. And finally, there's Nero di Troia. This one is the most elegant of the three, with spicy black pepper notes and these firm tannins. You know, that stuff that makes your mouth feel a little dry, kind of like a strong black tea. That gives the wine an amazing structure for aging. But hey, it's not all about the reds. Puglia also makes some absolutely fantastic white wines. You've got to keep an eye out for Verdeca. It's so crisp and zesty, packed with green apple and citrus, and it has this wonderful, salty mineral finish that just screams of the nearby sea. So refreshing. Okay, so we know the grapes, we know the place. Now for the best part. How do we actually enjoy these wines? Let's talk about bringing the vibrant flavors of Puglia right to your dinner table. It's the million-dollar question, right? Well, the best rule of thumb for any Italian wine is super simple. If it grows together, it goes together. The local food of Puglia is, no surprise, the absolute perfect match for Puglian wine. Let's look at some of these classic pairings. That crisp, zesty Verdeca we were just talking about, it's perfect with the local pasta or orecchiette, especially with some broccoli rabe. Those rich, grilled meat rolls called bombette, a match made in heaven for a bold primitivo. And oh, that creamy, fresh burrata cheese is just sublime with a fragrant white like Fiano Minotolo. And, of course, a hearty lamb ragout finds its absolute soulmate in a structured, earthy Negro Amaro. All right, let's wrap things up by looking ahead. Puglia has come so far, but what does the future hold? Well, the next chapter is all about tackling challenges head on, with a huge focus on sustainability. But it's not all smooth sailing. Like a lot of wine regions around the world, Puglia is facing some serious challenges. You've got climate change bringing intense heat and drought. The global wine market is fiercely competitive. To keep succeeding, the winemakers here have to be both incredibly smart and super adaptive. And this is exactly how they're doing it. The path forward is really built on three main pillars. First, a deep, real commitment to sustainability. We're talking organic farming, smart water use. Second is innovation, always researching those amazing native grapes. And third is enotourism, basically inviting people like you and me to come and experience this incredible place for ourselves. And really, this is the magic formula. It's not about choosing between the past and the future. It's about blending these ancient, time-honored traditions with modern, sustainable innovation. And that combination is exactly what's making Puglia one of the most exciting wine regions on the entire planet right now. So, I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. With its unique treasures from the past and such a clear vision for the future, could this sunny southern region actually be a blueprint for the future of all Italian wine? It's definitely something worth exploring, one glass at a time.